So the PRELINGER Archives Online, stemmed out of a casual conversation that I had when I first got on the phone with Brewster Kahle in 1999. And within the first 20 seconds, he said, "Do you want to put your archives online for free?" And I started to stutter. You know, I said, "I make money charging for access to my collection. How could I give it away? I don't know about this." And you know, I was new to California. I hadn't been inculcated in the sort of, you know, the values of the open source movement, and I knew nothing about free culture. But after thinking about it for a while, I realized that this was an experiment worth trying, because, you know, I'm a contrarian, and I felt that there were a lot of things wrong about the whole archival and stock footage world. And in addition, we had always given out footage for free or just for duplication costs to worthwhile projects like this one, or, you know, social and cultural, artistic community projects that we wanted to see do our little bit to help enable. But it was expensive, you know, because it costs just as much to give something away as it does to charge for it. It's still time and all that. And so in a lot of ways, it seemed like it offered us a way to do the right thing without experiencing, you know, the adverse consequences of doing that. And beginning at the very start of 2001, we started to put material on. To the best of our knowledge, we've had over 7 million films downloaded. Now, this may not seem like much, but these are very obscure films. You know, the most well-known film that we put up is Duck and Cover. But there's a lot of stuff, you know, that's of interest just to railroad buffs, train spotters, or to telephone collectors, or to people interested in the history of, you know, Southern California, these small slices of small interest groups. But all in all, we think about 7 million films. Our estimate, and this is an educated estimate, is that about 80,000 derivative works have been made from the material that we've put up online. One of the things that intrigues me tremendously about the proliferation of material that's out there in the world for people to grab is the potential creation of millions of new authors. And, you know, the consequent breakdown of that sort of, you know, long-lasting barrier between consumers and producers. My personal experience is that when you begin to get millions of new authors, really, really interesting things can happen. And from an archivist's point of view, or a librarian's point of view, when you put primary materials in the hands of ordinary citizens, really, really interesting things can happen. History becomes, you know, history is no longer the province of academics and intellectuals. Definitions of culture begin to shift and change in very interesting ways. And as we know, questions of what's high culture and what's low culture often get inverted and or scrambled in ways I think are tremendously productive.